You know what? We on the left needs to actually start understanding one thing. If we come out with always saying America bad, then there's no way we're gonna win the American public. What's up, guys? This is me, Crimson60620, and with a new video for you. And remember, if you can, like, share, and subscribe, and we can get into our topics for today. So, I need you people, you online leftists, you leftists that are not online but have leftist tendencies, I need you to stop saying America bad. I know we all love the famous rich kid that says America bad and sticks up for terrorists, but no. If you want to win the American public, you can't start off by saying, oh, you're bad, you're guilty, you're evil, and why don't you change to socialism? It didn't work when the atheists, try to actually shame religious people to giving up their religion. It's not going to work with people who believe America's a good country into wanting America to change. It's not going to happen. And this is a video that I found a couple of weeks ago. Obviously, it's a little bit late, but I want to actually get into when I said when the title of the video is I'm sick of America. So let's go. So let's get into this video.
Hello, my friends. How are you? Welcome to the new year. Are you as excited as I am? Oh, we're going to have a blast, aren't we? Heading into a new year where Donald Trump is going to be president once again. And
I mean, New Year's been here for like a couple of weeks, We're still determining, and goddamn right, the incompetence is about to reign. Like, don't get me wrong. I admit that Trump is a racist, sexist piece of trash. My biggest problem with it, and one of the blessings, is his incompetence of not being able to get things done correctly. This may change because he has a lot of yes men, and that may make it worse. But the Democrats should have ran on the incompetence of the Trump administration of the first one. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go.
And what could go wrong? Probably a whole lot. So today, there's going to be some politics talk, of course, but I'm going to vent from the point of view of a working man. Like most of you are. I mean, maybe not all men, but most of us are probably in the working class. And we're all kind of getting stiffed by the
type shit
system, right? We're all getting it pretty bad over here. Now, recently, I did a video where I referred to Donald Trump supporters as lazy. Remember that? That was a fun one, wasn't it? And the thing I was pointing out in that video, I did say that there are things in this country that screw us over, that put us in a bad position for our entire life. What I don't like, what I don't really appreciate, is when people just look for someone else to blame and say, well, that's my scapegoat, and that's the reason why everything sucks for me, and they just leave it at that, and they never try anything else. I figure as long as you're trying in life, and things maybe still aren't working out quite the way they should, I think you probably have every right in the world to bitch about what's going on out there.
He's absolutely right. There are people that will use marginalized status as a reason for them not to try. And I'm not even talking about the people who have tried and failed and just been damage from that. That's a thing that happens. But you gotta still get up and try. And nothing is more telling. What I hate is the online left's whole idea of, well, Trump won the first time and now it was all sad in the press, and then Biden won is oh, we don't have to do it anymore. It's no, it always takes work, and even if you fail, you have to get up. I'm not gonna be like one of these idiot ass, pick me ass black people that be like, oh, black people should stop stop being a victim. No, sometimes you're a victim. Sometimes things happen to you, but what you do is you still get up. Maybe with a hand from somebody else, maybe leaning on somebody else, but you still got to get up. You still got to try. Not because, just pull yourself up out of bootstraps. It's because at times you don't have a choice. And that's for anybody. Anybody. If life is kicking you down, grab onto somebody, not to drag you down with them or drag them down with you, but for it, like, to be able to say, like, no, we're gonna stand together. And that's one of the things that, like, we need to, like, focus on. We need to focus on the left, this whole thing of just like, oh, because this is bad, then I'm giving up. Doomerism is a bad thing, but let's go.
And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to bitch, my friends, because I did last night what probably millions of Americans did last night also. And that was lay in my bed with severe anxiety, wide awake, thinking about all the decisions I've ever made in my life and how I ended up in where I am in life. And don't get me wrong. I feel like I'm pretty fortunate. You know, I've been able to provide for my family. There's been some struggles along the way. I can't be mad about this YouTube channel. I can't believe we're 40 videos into it. This will be the 41st video. And we're almost to 10,000 subscribers. I mean, we're having a good run here. And then
Oh, that's a good run. That is a very good run. Let's go.
I do something completely fucking stupid, I think we've got a really bright future on this channel. I've never seen anything quite like it. Now, it's not beyond me, my friends, to do something completely fucking stupid and blow up something that I've worked hard on. I've done that before in my life, but we're going to try to avoid that a little bit. But the thing I want to talk about today is just the hopeless fucking feeling of being an American. And sorry to bring you guys down like that. Like, that sounded really depressing, didn't it?
No, and the thing about it is, these feelings are valid because, like, it is something that a lot of us face. And the way people are twisting populism, it like, we have a outrage machine, we have a despair machine, and the internet is great, but it is also great in bringing us outrage and despair. And so, yeah, a lot of people deal with anxiety, and it's called being human, and it's valid. And the thing about it is, as asterisk as hiccup, what are you gonna do about it? But let's continue.
But that's just the way that I feel sometimes, and I know a lot of other Americans feel that way. This is why I vote for the Democrats. I will never, ever, for the life of me, understand why working class people vote for Republicans. Nothing about that registers in my brain. This is the party that cares for profit over people and cares about millionaires and billionaires. If you're not one of those three things, they don't give a fuck about you. As a matter of fact, all they care about you is how much money they can squeeze out of you.
Well, see, that's where the disconnect comes from. A lot of people think that they're going to be millionaires or billionaires. And also, they're playing into fear. So, you know, I understand it. I won't condemn it or condone it, but, like, I understand that fear, that primal instinct of, like, I need to protect, and this party says that they're going to protect. And the devil that you know is better than the one that you don't know. But let's go.
To make sure that the rich get richer. The Democrats are at least having the conversations. Unfortunately, we don't get a whole lot fucking done in this country. That's just the reality of it. Nothing happens. And I don't know, you guys help me, because here's where I may not
know. A lot was done under Biden's term. It wasn't the magic socialist button. And the thing is, a lot of people are waiting for Superman. Like, they are waiting for somebody to come save them, where it takes saving yourself or saving your neighbor so they can actually help save you. But a lot of people don't want to do that. They want promises from the sky without any actions. And they think voting, which is the least first level of public engagement, it's the first level. They think that's going to solve it. And that's just not going to be it. It's going to take, you know, giving up some things to get others. And again, this is a message to we on the left. We have to stop selling it as like you need to punish yourself for being an American. But no, let's go.
I know what I'm talking about. Is it the filibuster in the Senate that's the fucking problem, where we need 60 fucking votes to pass anything? Or does our government just not fucking get anything done? But the Democrats are at least having the conversation, right? We're talking about a living wage. That's a good thing. We're talking about unions. That's a good thing. We're talking about health care. That's a good thing, you know, so you don't go into crippling debt because you had a health problem. We're talking about education. We're talking about all these things on the Democrat side, where the Republicans just aren't fucking talking about it at all.
Well, see, and that's the thing. They're talking about remember when it was good, or let's take it back to a day. And for some people, nostalgia is a thing. And again, I'm not trying to crap on this dude's video, but if you're just complaining on the internet about things are bad, then you don't take the time to try to understand how to reach out to these people. And some of the thought leaders in the conservative parties are just power hungry ghouls that want to do anything they can to actually, build their own power. But the rank and file, like, they're lost sheep, not in the whole sheeple thing, but they're lost people looking for direction or looking for somebody to save them. Until you actually say, hey, the power is in your hands. Like the Captain Planet, the power is yours. And they understand that they can actually change and not just live in fear. Then that's what we're going to get. But let's continue.
Fortunate part is talking about it doesn't really do a whole fucking lot for us. And as I lay there in bed last night thinking about it, I said, I'm in my 40s now. I don't envision this country getting any better before I die. I honestly don't. I mean, I have.
But you can make it better. You can. It can be made better. You just have to want to work with people and make it better.
Have hope for some of our young politicians like AOC, Jasmine Crockett, people like that want to do the right thing for the American people. But I'm starting, I know I'm Debbie Downer today. I really am. I was awake most of the night. I'm going to take a nap after this. I can finish this drive, but I'm in a shit mood. But I don't have much faith that our government's going to do anything. It isn't profitable for them to do all these things to help us out. I don't have any faith that in the time I have left on this planet, anything's going to get any fucking better for the American people. I only see it getting worse. So when we look, I'm so frustrated.
Yeah, I was about to say, my man seems very, very frustrated, and he just seems upset. And again, this is not crapping on him. I'm mostly trying to understand where he's coming from. So this is just one of those things.
Look at other modern countries, right? They have all the things that we don't fucking have. And we have the balls to stand here and say we live in the greatest country in the world. And I think that ship has sailed for most of the citizens.
So again, this is kind of that Merica BAD thing. And yes, like there are things that we need to actually change in our country, things that we are not that well in. But again, trying to attack this to somebody who believes that, it's attacking their personalities. It's attacking who they believe that they are. And it's not going to work out well when you do that. That's why it's important that we say we can be better. Not that we're bad and you're evil and Merica BAD. Like, we have to actually say, hey, if we're the best country, why can't we have this? Not in a way of, or they're just killing us. Like, no, if we're the best country, of course we can have this program, that program, because the best country actually can take care of their citizens without feeling like other people are getting gypped or robbed. Like, this is a thing. We have to sell it as, since we're so strong, since we're so great, that we can change because we're strong and great. It's the same thing that I feel about a lot of these red pill dudes. Like, women need to go back to being women. Like, aren't you a strong man? Why are you threatened by a strong woman? You should actually want a strong woman because that will make you greater. Like, that's what we need to sell it as. Not that who we are as a country makes us bad, but who we are as a country gives us the strength to actually change. But let's continue.
I think we fucking gave up on that. Like, sure, we're very powerful when it comes to military, but that kind of, I mean, it's nice. That's a good thing. Obviously, you want to feel safe in your country that you live in, but it kind of amounts to fuck all when your whole life is spent working just to get by, right? But these other modern countries, I mean, we're talking about some of these countries got like 6 weeks of paid vacation every year. 6 weeks. Holy shit, that's a fucking lot. And then you have health.
And I think some of that is that some Americans wouldn't know what to do with themselves with 6 weeks. That's kind of one of the reasons why I want people to delve more into their creativity. I was having a conversation with a new friend of mine, and she was talking about how she reads so much and how she can dissect stories. And like, why don't you create one of your own? And it's just like, oh, I wouldn't do it good. I would do it well. I'm like, just do it. But that's here nor there. But like I said, a lot of Americans, they're so used to working so much that they wouldn't know what to do with themselves. And as somebody who works so much, that when I did get sick and I had to, like, take time off of work, I was lucky I had a creative outlet, be it YouTube or my art. And that's the thing. A lot of Americans just don't have that, especially if you're the older millennial generation to Gen X. It wasn't encouraged. But let's continue.
Care as a human right. That's crazy. You've got, they have honest discussions about like living wages and things like that. And we are not the greatest country in the world. We're far fucking from it, because all we are is pawns out here to work our lives away so that the people that were born into money can continue to have generational wealth while we go to the grave in fucking debt. And that drives me out of my fucking mind. It drives.
So yeah, no, that's all true. Like just, that's a thing. And to be very honest with you, the way we solve that is by working together, is by not letting ourselves be undercut because somebody else is more thirsty, or getting rid of the whole hustle culture type thing. Protecting immigrants. Oh, you're bleeding hard. You just want anybody come in. Like, no. Y'all motherfuckers don't want to go pick lettuce like these immigrants do. You don't want to go clean, hotel rooms like these immigrants do. All these jobs that you think that the immigrants are stealing are jobs that you want to do. So calm down, let them work and live. And hey, if you let them work and live legally, then they can't be undercut by just working under the table. But that's neither here nor there. Let's go.
Drives me crazy. And I was thinking a lot about this last night, because I just don't understand what we're doing sometimes. Like, this isn't living life at all. And this may be because I've spent 10 years in a truck. God help me, I have got to.
No, the way most people live is not living life. Another recent conversation, somebody asked me, like, why don't I travel when I did? And I was working so much, and I had to explain that, yeah, now that I'm doing the YouTube and working on my art, this is my traveling, this is my passion that I'm trying to live out. But yeah, no, I fell victim to this myself. That's why I was in the health situation that I was in.
To get out of this place sometime. I've got to make a plan to sometime get out of a truck and get my life back, and I'll figure that the fuck out. But this isn't living. It's not even remotely close to living. We and everybody's in it. It's not me in a truck and I have a harder life than you. That would be stupid of me to say that, right? Because even people that have normal jobs, they go to work, they fucking work all day, they got to commute to work, they got to commute home, and they're dead tired by the time they get there. And we just repeat this fucking cycle over and over and over.
Yeah, no, this is definitely true. Like I said, I'm not coming at my man in, like, sideways. I get it. It's frustrating. I've had these conversations myself, even though I didn't put him on YouTube in a rambling way that he did, because mine would be way more profanity laced and way less structured. So I get it. Like, all right, let's go.
Over, and to almost no benefit to us. to almost no benefit. Like, we get to live indoors. That's cool, you know. I'd kind of rather just give it up at this point. Like, I'll go live outside. Who gives a fuck? It's cheaper out there, you know. I'd kind of rather just give up. And that's a point I want to make sure I make in this video, because we all know we're fucked, right? And we're never going to do a damn thing to change it, because how can we, right? The only way the working class ever says, you know what, America, I've had enough, is if we just walk away. We all just walk out of our houses one day, never to return. We just end up in the woods somewhere, and that's where we live. That might get some fucking attention, but in some places it's illegal to be homeless. Did you know that? I'm sure you guys did know that. But I'm just having trouble wrapping my head around this endless fucking cycle that we do for seemingly no reason. And some of it's our fault. I will concede that. Some of it is our own damn fault.
So I know he's about to say the consumerism that we face and all that other good stuff. I know that's going to be a thing, but maybe, again, no pre-watching.
Some of us don't know how to live within our means, and I didn't for a long time. I really didn't. And you pay for that for years, and you start to figure out when you get older, you're like, fuck, I should have maybe did that a little different. And that's a little pet project of mine now, is figuring out how to, you know, eliminate debt, reduce debt, and fucking try to like live like a minimalist.
So one thing that I have been able to do since I've gotten sick, I did cut down on some of the debt that I have. Not much, but I did cut down on some of it, and it took a lot. But especially not having my full paycheck like I did, it took something.
List, I guess. I don't fucking know. I'm pretty easy to please these days. Hand me a beer and put a good video game in front of me, and I'm pretty happy. I don't need the mansion and the pools and the nice cars and things like that. But we just repeat the cycle. And you know, the system specifically designed to make sure that they squeeze every bit of profit out of us while they pay us as little as possible. And then we have people arguing against unions because, oh, you have to pay your $12 a week in union dues. That would be fucking terrible, wouldn't it? And it's our own working class that votes against the working class. Doesn't that drive anyone else fucking crazy? Because it makes me a little bit nuts. I guess it just, I don't know. I'm getting older, my friends. I'm not that old, but I'm getting.
No, I get it. Like, for us older millennials, whatever, we felt like we've been screwed the whole time. From when we was in our 20s and we was working, and it was like, oh, those kids, they don't have any work ethics, to like being treated like we're still in our 20s now. Like, us millennials, we are in our 40s. like this is a thing that happens, and it's just like, come on, guys, like, come on, like, come on. And then, you know, childcare is expensive. All this other stuff is expensive. It's one of those things where it's just like, like, avocado toast didn't break us. It was the bills and the rent and the housing and the car payments, and that's a thing. But let's go.
To a point in life where I realize what I've lost by working so hard. Have you guys ever, I'm sure plenty of you have you ever lost a relationship because of how hard you were working?
Yeah, definitely, yes. But let's go.
I absolutely have, and it's fucking devastating. Like, I'm not gonna like give you guys my whole personal life, but once upon a time, you know, there was a girl, and I promised one day I was gonna take care of her and do everything, make sure everything was taken care of. And then I spent so much time working towards that goal. I never saw her again. That was that. And the thing is, like, you put in all the overtime, or as a trucker, you run the extra miles. When you're laying on your deathbed, you're not going to remember the fucking extra $100, $200 you made here and there. You're going to remember that person that you lost, that you're never, ever going to see again in your life.
And you know what? That's not even just romantic relationships. Relationships with stuff that I want to do with myself, or things that I want to actually accomplish. Yeah, no, that's a thing that happens. It's something that happens where you're working yourself to death. In some cases, literally. And you miss out.
And it wasn't fucking worth it. It wasn't worth it. And to me, that's fucking crazy. I'll tell you guys a little bit of a story. I was talking to a trucker.
You know, and the bad part about it is some workplaces actually kind of demand it, because so many people were voluntarily doing it. It needs to be mandatory. And it's just,
Just a couple days ago. He walked up to me in the truck stop and started up a conversation. And I want to be clear, I'm not bullying this man. I'm not trying to say anything negative about him. The guy was clearly having a rough go at life, a really, really bad time. He came up and just started talking to me about trucking. He just wanted to talk about trucking. That's what he wanted to talk about. And he was in bad shape. This man had given up on life quite a while ago. I mean, all of his teeth were just rotted in his head. I get it, like mine ain't great either. You know, I'm a trucker. Sometimes that shit goes by the wayside, unfortunately. Rotted out of his head though, just real gross. And you could tell he hadn't showered for quite a while. And the smell coming off this guy was absolutely horrifying. And I had to cut my conversation short with him while I was out there talking to him. I said I had to go.
I will admit, because I wanted to date women, I kind of kept myself, like, you know, still kind of keep myself kind of like hygiene to a point where it's not unpleasant, where it's not pleasant to be around. You know what I mean? Where, you know, I don't have any smells. But yeah, if I kind of gave up on that, it'd be hard to actually change. But let's go.
Immediately got in the truck, and that smell coming off of him caused me to puke into a bag over here. Now, I'm not saying any of that to be mean to the guy. It was fucking tragic. It was tragic. All that man has left in the world is that truck and talking to somebody about trucking. He's given up on people. He's given up on himself, and he's just waiting for the day that he dies. And I was sad for that man. I really was. Because this right here, like any other job, will take your fucking life. We'll take it right away from you. And what for? Right? And I get a lot of comments, thank you for being a trucker, and thank you for, you know, supplying the world and all that stuff. There's nothing about this that makes it worth it anymore. And that's the case with every job. There's nothing out there that's fucking worth it. We're talking just your run-of-the-mill working class type.
I worked for a call center, in various call centers for 15 years, and definitely not worth it.
Jobs, they're not worth doing anymore. You can't pay the fucking bills off of fucking $15 an hour. You know, you can't pay the bills off of $25 an hour. And it's to a point where it just doesn't make any fucking sense. And I was talking to that man, and I said, my God, that's me 10 years from now. Because I guarantee you, if I'm still in this truck 10 years from now, I'm giving up too. I'm giving up on life. There's no hope left. There's nothing for me to do. And I just can't understand why the fuck we're doing this. Just to keep other people rich. Just to make sure that we're productive so that they keep making fucking money. And it drives me out of my fucking...
I get it, dude. I get it. I understand why he's so upset. I get it. It's a problem. And like, again, I can't doubt this man for feeling this way. But let's go.
Out of my fucking mind to think about this stuff. I can't figure out what we're doing it for. You know, I get people, when I take a hit off my vape, sometimes on a video, they'll be like, you know, vaping is bad for you. I'm like, yeah, I'm well aware. I remember years ago, I was a smoker, cigarettes. I started smoking when I was, 15 or 16. I haven't had a cigarette for about 10 years. Turns out vapes work pretty good for me with that extreme nicotine addiction that I have, right? But even when I was a young lad, one of my friend's moms caught me lighting up a cigarette. And she goes, you know, that's bad for you, right? And I said, yeah, I know it's bad for me. And she said, every cigarette you smoke cuts 6 minutes off of your life. I don't know what she was trying to do with that, but she motivated me. Because even at that age, I was looking ahead at life going, what are we doing? None of this makes sense. And I thought to myself, I said, you know what? You're right. I could probably bump that up to 2 packs a day now, couldn't I?
Okay. All right. That was a good one. Let's go.
Because I already didn't understand. I watched my parents like go to work day in and day out, just to say, well, we can't afford that. We can't do that. I can't afford the bills. I've watched.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's just like, then what am I working for? What are you working for? Why are we going to do it? Because we supposed to? Because we supposed to. All right. Yeah. No, I get it. Like, dude, before I had my health condition, I was struggling. I was working overtime every other week.
Marriages end over money, and sometimes it's warranted, right? Sometimes one of the partners is a complete jackass with money, and they're like ruining both their financial futures, and yeah, it's time to go. But like people just struggling to make it. You're supposed to love this person, right? And it was over money. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard, and it's sad. It makes me sad to see that happens to people. You know, you can't afford this. And a lot of people can't, go through the hard times with someone, and I get that. Like, they can't see like that there's an end in sight, and maybe there is no end in sight, and the hard times are created by a system that was completely fucking made up to keep us in line, to keep us going to work. And there has to be some sort of system, right?
I mean, like, yeah, I get what he's saying. I doubt all of it was maliciously planned. Some of it was just like, oh, that's just the way things work. And some of it was just like, well, if we do this, it's gonna give this and that plus side. What about the downside? What downside? Like, all right, let's go.
Doesn't there, because there's so many people on the planet. But it's like, it's how much money do you have? What's your credit score? Motherfucker, holy shit, why is life like this? Why is it like this? And I just
that everybody asks that question, my friend.
I find it to be very frustrating that we all are caught on this treadmill, and we'll never get off. We will most.
It's not a treadwheel, it's a hamster wheel. Get it right.
Most of us, all of us, will go down as incredibly ordinary people, and nothing happens. We just die at the end. And I wish I was a man of faith. I really wish I was, so I could be like, man, I can't wait for that to happen. But I'm a tired old man, and since I'm not a man of faith, I'm looking forward to taking that eternal nap. That'll be nice, right? And don't worry. Listen,
he's not saying what you may think he is. He's just saying, like, when it's done, lay down my burdens down by the riverside, you know.
I don't know if I went too far in this video where I'm like, okay, you guys got to worry about me or do a wellness check. It's nothing like that, okay? It's just when you get to be my
macabre humor. It's just macabre humor.
My age, I'm just kidding, but like you spend 10 years in a truck, you get into your 40s, you realize that there's really not a lot left. I mean, I still have people, don't worry. I mean, I very rarely will ever go into my personal life. It's mine to talk about. I mean, to not talk about. There's still people that exist around me, but it's like you look back at all the people that you lose along the way. Then you did it for dollars that don't mean a fucking thing. And this is not what life should be about.
For real. Exactly. But let's go.
This isn't what we should be doing. But here we are continuing to do this forever. And I guess just back to our politicians real quick. This isn't the greatest country in the world. We're not even close to the greatest country in the world. It's a country that very much takes advantage of its citizens, works us into the ground and tells us we can't even get a bone fixed for less than $30,000 if we break an arm or something. I don't know what that costs to fix.
Well, man, he's spitting, but I just wish, and I haven't watched any of his channel, of his other videos on this channel. I just wish my man's actually kind of like, and maybe that's not his place, but just like advocated to change America based on recognizing that it is a strong country and is strong enough to change. But again, maybe that's not his place. And again, I'm not, coming at him sideways, but this is an interesting video. Let's go.
Keeps us tied into a job by using healthcare, tying healthcare to your job, makes you loyal servants of the system. And if you work somewhere long enough, you might get up to 2 weeks of paid vacation per year. And as much as I love the Democratic policies and the things that they say they want to do, I have absolutely zero faith that any of that will ever happen. Wages will continue to stay stagnant while prices continue to increase. We will all in the future be having to have roommates or whatever, multiple streams of income. It's not enough to, be married. You might have to get you a second wife or a third wife.
Yes. 3 wives. No. Okay, I'm sorry.
Or a fourth wife, which, I'm on board with all that, but I don't know if all my wives would be. I'm just saying they might have a problem with that. But
look. I told somebody recently that, I want like 3 girlfriends. So she's like, yeah, you think you can actually handle 3 girlfriends? I'm like, no, I'll probably just. All right, let's go.
I I mean, obviously in a bad fucking mood. I'm not a happy person today. It's probably because I didn't sleep last night. I'm grumpy, right? But I am starting to feel this overwhelming sense of helplessness that I think a lot of other people in the world feel, that I will just drive this truck until the day I'm dead because I'll never have figured anything else out. It will probably take days for most people that know me to even find out that I, died in the back of the truck, because they haven't heard anything from me in years anyway, so why would they care? And that I just don't get what it's all for. And America has really fucking let us down, haven't they? Good talk.
All right, that's about the end of the video. So I will say this: I understand my man's feeling. I'm, again, not trying to come at him sideways, but yeah, no, like, this country is in trouble, but we're strong enough to change it. We're strong enough to make it better. And that's what we should actually do. But anyway, guys, if you can, like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification button, and you'll be able to get my videos, at least one video a day. We're going to cut the video segment here. I want to say thank you to all my Patreon supporters and my Twitch subscribers. Join the Guardians, become a member, or become a subscriber on YouTube, Patreon, and help support the channel. Thank you for watching this video, and the next one should be popping up on your screen. Subscribe, and if you haven't checked it out and want to help out the channel, check out my Patreon. Thanks.